Hello everyone, I'm Claire Huddleston. Thanks for joining us tonight. Tuscaloosa police have found the woman they say is responsible for 2 bank robberies in West Alabama. 44-year-old Sherry Simmons Etheridge is charged with first-degree robbery and making a terrorist threat. She's accused of dressing up like a man and robbing the Regions Bank in Brookwood and the Bank of Tuscaloosa in Cottondale. Today, Tuscaloosa police, Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's deputies, and the FBI arrested Etheridge at her home in Adger, which is near Hueytown. Etheridge is charged with making a terrorist threat because she said she had a bomb, which forced the Bank of Tuscaloosa and Cottondale to evacuate. Here you can see the robot that detonates bombs outside the bank. Etheridge is also facing first-degree robbery charges in Brookwood. Her bond in Tuscaloosa is set at $75,000. 2 Tuscaloosa men have been sentenced for federal cocaine charges. The judge sentenced 41-year-old Roderick Dion Crispin to 10 years in prison for having 35 grams of crack and 7 grams of powder cocaine. Crispin pleaded guilty in April. The judge also sentenced 36-year-old Lamarcus Deshaun Weir of Duncanville to 22 years in prison. The U.S. Marshals Task Force found 65 grams of crack cocaine and 11 grams of powder cocaine at his home when they went to arrest him on an outstanding warrant. Green Track employees are counting down the days until electronic bingo machines are returned to the facility. A judge has ruled the state must return Green Track's seized property within 10 days. On June 1st, the state attorney general's staff and police removed some gaming machines from Green Track because they said a court needed to determine if they're legal. Green Track CEO Luther Wynn Jr. says the June 1st raid was a mistake and he hopes the machines will stay for good.
The citizens of Greene County voted and passed a constitutional amendment that allows for electronic bingo in Greene County, but that just does not seem to be able to get through to the highest law enforcement officer in this state. And I don't understand the difficulty in reading an amendment that says Greene County is authorized to have electronic bingo.
Wynn says he plans to reopen as soon as possible. He hopes to rehire employees who were laid off after the June 1st raid. Closing arguments are continuing in Alabama's gambling corruption case. Defense attorneys say there was never any agreement to trade campaign contributions for votes on pro-gambling legislation. The attorneys say testimony against their clients come from con men who have pleaded guilty and are telling lies to get lighter sentences. Prosecutors have played wiretapped phone calls saying several Alabama senators accepted hefty campaign donations in exchange for their yes vote. School starts next week for many West Alabama students, and the new year is going to bring some new changes in the Tuscaloosa City school system. WVUA's Daniel Sparkman shows us what students can expect.
After April 27th's tornado destroyed 3 Tuscaloosa City schools, will the system be ready for school to start next week?
We are ready to welcome students back to the classrooms on August the 10th, so our teachers are very, very excited, and the countdown has just begun.
Students from University Place Elementary and Middle Schools will attend Stillman Heights. That's where Tuscaloosa's Head Start program currently has classes, and the University Place children will join them. Students who used to attend Alberta Elementary will now go to Tuscaloosa's Magnet School. 6 portable classrooms have been installed to accommodate the extra students.
Well, the planning for the 2011-2012 school year actually began the day after the storm. You know, after the storm happened, our administrators sat down and began talking about what's going to happen when we return to classes in that previous school year, and then we also began looking forward to what was going to happen this school year. So the plan has been in the works, and we're just ready to implement it.
Even though Northridge High School wasn't damaged in the storm, Principal Dr. Isaac Espy says the entire school system has pulled together during this time of need.
We had one retirement last year, and everybody else stayed with us. If that tells you about what kind of commitment we have from our faculty, wonderful faculty, morale is super high, and we're just extremely excited for the first day of school. Wednesday, August 10th. That's what we got in this business for, and we just can't wait.
In Tuscaloosa, Daniel Sparkman, WVUA News.
Northridge High School will see a slight scheduling change this year. Dr. Espy says the school is going to modify rotating block schedule, which he believes will bring better academic results. 3 months after they finish classes, a group of University of Alabama students will finally get their diplomas. Students who are supposed to graduate in May are coming back to the capstone this weekend for commencement. The school pushed back May's commencement because of April 27th's tornado. The damage forced many students out of their homes and to other parts of the state and country. WVUA met up with one of those students who says Saturday will mean more to her than anyone could imagine, and she believes the seniors deserve this honor and recognition.
I mean, it's just ceremonial, but it's the period on 4 years of really hard work. You know, we deserve some kind of pomp and circumstance.
In addition to the commencement celebrations, the university will hold a candlelight vigil tomorrow to honor the 6 students who died in the tornado. It may be hard to believe, but some people have already demolished and rebuilt their homes, like former Tuscaloosa Mayor Al DuPont. Today, DuPont moved back into his home, and WVUA's Bradley Whittington takes us along.
It's a process many people in Tuscaloosa are going through, rebuilding what was lost on April 27th. Former Tuscaloosa Mayor Al DuPont has rebuilt from the ground up in the Cedar Crest neighborhood.
Last night I thought about it and it felt real good, and I'm going to spend the first night tonight here and be my first night in my new home.
DuPont says the entire process wouldn't have been possible without friends like Frank Chandler. Chandler says he's glad to lend a helping hand.
We've had a good time. Al told me yesterday, he said Frank, he said, I've had a good time this summer.
They've had such a good time. In fact, they've posted video of the rebuilding on YouTube, and they never forgot to take a break, especially for lunch.
Everybody gets them a chicken salad sandwich and a soup, and he really likes the gumbo down at Jason's thing, and he found out, I told him, I said, you can get an ice cream cone too, Mayor, and so he found out, so we get us ice cream cone every day, so it's been a good fellowship working here together, getting his house built.
Despite the good times, DuPont says it's still not the same without a certain someone.
My wife died a year and a half ago, and we were married 64 years, and all I wish that she'd been here to see this, because she was always wanting a little bit more cabinet space in the kitchen and all.
Al DuPont is taking his memories with him as he becomes a part of Tuscaloosa's future. He's now the first person to rebuild and move into a new home in Cedar Crest. Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Bradley Whittington, WVUA News.
Former Mayor DuPont has lived in Cedar Crest for 61 years. He says he plans to throw a housewarming party when the weather gets a little cooler. Well, when is the weather going to get cooler? I hope Richard Scott has some good news for us tonight. Hey, Richard.
Hey, Claire, good Thursday night to you. I do have some good news. It's cooler right now for one thing due to all the rain happening, but also next few days looks like it is going to be a bit cooler out there. All right, shower storms happening right now. Home team interactive radar mainly from Lamar County back to central Tuscaloosa County, points south and west. The heaviest rain right now centered around York, Livingston, and Epps community. Over pretty much all of Sumter County seeing some moderate to heavy rain, occasionally some lightning out there around Demopolis and Jefferson as well. And the thunderstorm's going to be around for the next few days on and off. And temperatures are cooler out there. How about 76 at 10 o'clock in Tuscaloosa, 74 in Demopolis, Columbus, 74, 73 degrees over in Coleman and Gadsden, 73. And here's that weekend forecast. Yeah, it's going to be hot, mid-90s, but once that rain settles in, just like today, it's going to cool things off and not going to be a total washout over the weekend. I'll have much more in your home team weather forecast, including the latest on the tropics. Stay with us for that.
Overnight lightning storms are suspected in a fire that destroyed a North Alabama church. Athens firefighters got the call around 1 o'clock this morning. Huge flames had already engulfed the building. First responders treated one firefighter for heat exhaustion, but no one else was hurt.